Thank you for understanding. The time left to us. Tesleen makes an effort to smile brightly. Well, nothing is going to happen for a little while yet. So let's see if we can't lighten the mood. We don't want our gloomy faces worrying the patients. I think it's time for that welcome meal, don't you? Take a seat and I'll make us a nice stew.
Speak up if you'd like another helping. I made a little bit more than usual today.
And you've added something special to the broth, if I'm not mistaken.
Aye, well, it's not often we have visitors from the Crystarium, so I may have thrown in a few extra bits and bobs.
You needn't have gone to the trouble. I'll have another bowl then. Yeah, that's an interesting... to different people... I think each of these lines is a different kind of courtesy. Because one is that kind of like, oh, that humble type of thing. But then the other one is meant as like a compliment. It's that, the type of thing of like turning down a gift. In some cultures that's bad etiquette. I'll go with the second.
That's what I like to hear. Give me a moment to warm up the pot.
I mean, isn't it already warmed?
In a place like this, you learn to take what moments of happiness you can get. I remember when I first came here with my mother. She was showing the early signs.
Oh. That's got to be so hard.
I knew there was no way to save her, but I just couldn't face what needed to be done. That's the way of it for most people. Why they travel from arms to stay here. Beaten, broken souls come to wait out the inevitable. To receive the mercy of a painless death. When my mother finally left this world, I was mad with grief, but also thankful that her passing was a peaceful one. It's never easy, ending a life you've cared for, even when you believe they go on to a better place. I often find myself wishing the Warrior of Darkness would come and do that part for me.
The Warrior of Darkness?
You've never heard the tale? I'm not sure where it began, but every child in Norvrant could tell you a version of it. Warrior of Darkness, servant of death, take care of our souls at our dying breath. Let sinners and eaters of sin go with thee, that all may return to the sunless sea. Well, that's the version I was taught anyway. It's just an old bedtime story. He's certainly never deigned to visit us here.
Which is a good thing, surely. He sounds rather ominous.
Do you think so? I always liked the idea that he treated every soul the same, even the Sin Eaters.
Yeah, at first I was thinking that she was going to say her mother actually went through the change and she saw the pain in it. And that's why she came here, but that wasn't the case. Ooh, now what?
They're coming.
Desleen! Have you seen Halric? I swear, I only took my eyes off him for a moment.
And here it is, like the most terrifying moment in the entire game. Or certainly I would say gruesome. This is my fault. The patients were acting strangely, and I let it distract me. Where could he have gone? Lavenza, Alize, we have to go look for Halric. I don't know what's gotten into him, but if he's wandered out there alone, we'll assign search areas and split up. Any idea where he might be headed? No, he's never done anything like this before. But it can't be a coincidence that the other patients are suddenly so agitated. They can sense something. In any case, let's keep the search close to the inn. Halric isn't very sure on his feet, so he won't have gone far. I'll search the east side. Please, Halric, please be all right. I'll cover the north and west then. You take everything from here to the south. Yeah, this is... Again, comparing, you know, starting with Alphino versus starting with Alize. I think this moment is far more shocking and just a bigger moment than anything in Alphino's. I mean, certainly like Kai Shear trying to cut off, you know, his own flesh and stuff is not really shocking. You just see it and you're like, wow, that's messed up. But like, this is shocking. And I think it's because these two are kind of like the intro into the story. And I think having the intro end with this is a better way about it. You see no sign of Halric. Maybe he went further west. You scan your surroundings in search of Halric and suddenly find yourself under attack. Here we go.
Any sign of him? No luck then. But he surely can't have gone far. We should keep looking. The Sin Eaters are out in force, and if we don't find him soon, you can be sure they will.
I wonder what a Sin Eater would even do with somebody who is so far gone, so close to turning.
Did you see the size of that thing? It must be one of the nasty ones. Wherever it's going, it can only mean trouble. After it!
I mean, because it doesn't seem to be aggressive toward Halric. from what I remember. You know, they just kind of stare at each other.
There it is!
Is that...
Oh no!
Oh no, okay. That's aggressive.
We have to run!
Tesleen! No!
We all deserve happiness, wherever we can find it. The time left to you is precious. No one should die in pain. Mother, I...
That emotionless, like, empty stare is so off-putting. The interesting thing is, I think Tesleen's is a unique model. Because all the other ones, like, that have the body like hers, have like the longer, like, snout type of thing. Where she actually has, you know, a human face.
Oh, no, 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 no! Forgive me, Alice.
Last little bit of, like, sentience. The one thing that I think really works for that scene, and they've talked about it, how, like, it required, like, new tech or whatever, you know, to be able to have that, you know, the stuff with the face or whatever. And, you know, somebody that maybe, like, specifically grew up, like, in the early 2000s and 2010s or whatever, you know, maybe was born somewhere in the mid to late 90s or something and just never watched, you know, movies that came out, you know, before they were born, might not appreciate it as much as, you know, they kind of grew up with CGI and everything. But that effect reminds me of kind of like the older janky special effects you would see in movies with, I don't, maybe sometimes they use like stop motion or, you know, or it was just all like practical effects, but like how they had to do it and stuff just made it look kind of janky like that. But at the same time, there's like an oddness. It's like, I think of like the Uncanny Valley, but I don't think the Uncanny Valley... Or maybe it does, because it doesn't, like, I always think of Uncanny Valley when it comes to, like, faces and robotics and stuff like that. But I think even in effects, when it's like, that looks close, or it looks like it's in the direction of natural, but it's not natural. And that makes it look more unsettling. And so I think that effect works really well, where, like, yeah, you, with better tech or whatever, you could make the effect like smoother and just more liquid or whatever, you know, a smoother transition. But the fact that it does kind of come out, you know, almost, you know, in clumps, or, you know, almost like in a stop motion type of effect, just makes it look more unsettling. And then, of course, like, the eyes rolling to the back of the head and stuff is always creepy. And then again, him just, you know, with that empty expression, just looking at her is so off-putting. That's probably more off-putting than even the effects of her transformation. I'm sorry, Lavenza. I tried to tell the Cares what happened, but I can't be the shoulder they cry on. Not like this. Okay, so I've got to be the one to tell him. I mean, it's like, well, if anybody has seen their share of stuff, it's the Warrior of Light. So if anybody's going to be kind of desensitized to it all, you know, and able to just speak about it plainly, it's just so unfair. Tesleen was always so cheery with the patients, telling them not to be scared, that there wouldn't be any pain. Of all the people in the world to suffer such a fate. Yeah, I mean, we didn't get much time with her, but I think they did, you know, a good job of showing her compassion. You know, and for somebody that shows such compassion to other people to go out in that way, you know, is definitely, you know, obviously it's sad, but it's like, it's more than sad. I imagine you're just as shocked as the rest of us, so I appreciate what you're doing here. Me, I can barely, I don't have the words. Without a body, we can't even give her a proper burial. And she cared about that sort of thing, and giving people the chance to say their goodbyes. Oh, about... and she cared about that sort of thing, about giving people the chance to say their goodbyes. It's like, you know, the second I, like, try to act, it just goes to hell. Oh, geez. And the quest ends with Halric. Now she's the one with nothing to say. Halric is as unresponsive as ever. He stands motionless, staring up into the sky where the Sin Eaters made their escape. Damn, that's one hell of a way to end a quest, you know? To just talk to somebody that, you know, has almost no life in them. I just thought it might give more, like, description of what he's doing. But... Tears on the sand. Alize is lost in grief. Alize. I've spoken with the carers. They kind of evoke different things for me. I think Alize implies more concern, where I've spoken with the carers is kind of a dismissive, but like in a polite way, you know, where you're trying to not evoke anything. But I think I want to show my concern. Thank you. What you're doing, it means a lot to them. Oh, jeez. What am I doing here? Let's see this again. Thank you. What you're doing, it means a lot to them, to me. Sorry to interrupt. We realized we hadn't thanked you for rescuing Halric. You weren't hurt at all, were you? Hurt? There wasn't even a fight. I was too late. Too slow. And I thought I could protect you. You can't blame yourself for things beyond your control. You brought Halric back safe and sound. No one could have done any more. And I mean, Tesleen, you know, was turned, you know, for being able to get there in time. So, you know, there's no saying that the same thing wouldn't have happened to Alize. I'm sorry, but I've come to a decision. I won't be continuing in my role here. I hope you will forgive me for leaving you, and that you will delay Halric's last meal for as long as you possibly can. Not until it's too late, of course. Just give him what time you can. We always do. Of course. She would have done the same. Farewell, Halric. Keep Tesleen's words close to your heart. Wait. You're leaving this very moment? I understand how you must feel, but surely this is a bit hasty. Do you even have anywhere to go? I have a destination in mind, yes, and a purpose. This damned light, building without cease. It's the reason we can't save those corrupted by the eaters. But what if we corrected the balance? Even if it were only little by little, even if it took years, it would surely make things better. Now hold on there. Everyone knows there's too much light, but how could you ever hope to get rid of it? You'd have to change the whole world. That's right. We should return to the Crystarium. I may not be able to repel the eaters on my own, but I can still use the skills I have gained here to hurt them. That's got to be rough for them. I mean, because there's, you know, dude standing out front and whatnot, but, you know, like, how much security or whatever do they have? Guess I can make it a little bit quicker by doing that. Yeah, to just have, you know, somebody up and leave like that. But I mean, after a situation like that, it's kind of like, well, I don't know. I mean, there's two ways you can see it. After a situation like that, they need the security more than ever. But also after a situation like that, can you really blame somebody for saying, like, either I've had enough of this, or in Alize's case, I need to do more. You know, just sitting around here waiting for them to come isn't enough. Lavenza, good to see you again. You look like you've a story or two to tell, but I sense you'd sooner get back to the Crystarium. Forgive me, Lavenza. I couldn't stay there a moment longer. But I was serious about what I said. While the men and women at the inn battle against this blight with kindness, I must fight it in my own way, with steel. From Eorzea's sword in the darkness to Norvrant's sword in the light. Did she say that at some point, being the sword in the darkness? I want to say she did. So this is apropos. Gods above, it feels like an age ago now. Yeah, clearly she did. Or at least talking about Eorzea. Miss Alize, is there anything I can get you? Your swiftest tomorrow. I need to return to the Crystarium immediately. As you wish. Ugh. Remind me to wear goggles if we ever fly over Almarang again. I've barely gotten the sand out of my eyes. But the wind did help to clear my head at least. I think I'm ready to meet with the Exarch. We need to talk about how we're going to wipe the Sin Eaters out, shall we? Leave it to Alize to be the aggressive one, to go like, okay, something needs to be done about this. Let's get about it. So I want to say from my memory, this goes straight into Holminster Switch, right? I don't remember like so much else, but yeah, and then he just says I think the same thing. Like all the other, you know, gatekeepers or whatever. Welcome back, Lavenza. You will have to share the tale of your journey once the two of you are suitably rested. I see you were reunited with Alize, but I dare say you found little else to celebrate in Almarang. The soundtrack is pretty awesome. Other than that, though, it was kind of a... Thank you for seeking me out, Lavenza. It meant a lot to have you there at my side. In looking at Alphino, I'd say he's as eager to begin this discussion as I am. I say we lay our experiences before the Exarch and step back to see what kind of picture they make. Then we can decide where to go from here. Thank you for watching this video. Tonight, as you could expect, was amazing. Shadowbringers, I'm pretty sure just all of these are going to start with, it was amazing, it was spectacular, just because it's Shadowbringers. But yeah, we got a lot done, and we just entered into Ilmeg, which is one of my favorite zones from the expansion, so I look forward to doing that on the next stream. I do want to thank Smokin' Hot Ginger, a regular of mine, semi-regular of mine, for raiding the channel tonight. Obviously, I'm still a very small streamer, and any support I can get is much, much appreciated. So I just wanted to give them a shout out and maybe check them out as well. I gotta share the love. But yeah, again, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And like Smoking Hot Ginger, please come join live. The link to my Twitch is in the description down below. So, and the schedule is on the page, but it's Tuesdays through Saturdays, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. currently. Who knows what it'll be eventually, but as of the recording of this, that's the schedule. So, as I said, thank you again for watching, and I hope you have a good one.